The Fallout franchise is in quite a sticky situation at the moment, let's be honest. Fallout 76, though I personally believe it began life as a well-intentioned title, ended up being a complete tire fire, and that's putting it nicely. We may have Starfield and The Elder Scrolls 6 to get through before we step foot into the wasteland of wherever again, but I'm already asking, where does Fallout go from here? It's going to be quite the feat to make things worse than they already are. A still buggy multiplayer-only title with a £100 a year premium subscription for things we wanted from the off? If anyone could do it, it's Bethesda. But what if Starfield was the breath of fresh air the developer/publisher needed? What if The Elder Scrolls 6 is the greatest RPG ever made and it's ported to the next 14 games consoles? What if Fallout came back in its full, single-player glory and wasn't as disappointing as opening a supposedly canvas bag with your special edition? How could Bethesda go about it to secure a win? Good thing I'm here. I'm Rich, welcome back to WhatCulture Gaming, and this is our Fallout 5 wishlist, the 8 biggest changes that must happen. Number 8, a new locale. Kicking things off with a slightly obvious one, reusing a previous location from a Fallout game would make Fallout 5 fall at the first hurdle, so let's hope they don't reuse the same map for a new game. Ubisoft. Since Fallout takes place post-nuke here, nuke there, nukes everywhere, wherever you go is hardly going to look all that different and very picturesque. However, a change of scenery from the usual majority of dilapidated city to barren wasteland would be nice. One thing Fallout 76 did get right was its world. Green actually existed here since West Virginia only got a light dusting of the nuclear holocaust. It introduced us to almost a whole new aesthetic to the Fallout world, and it would be great to see it again. However, it doesn't mean Bethesda should leave behind their roots, as even though they are kinda samey, destroyed cities fit the post-apocalyptic setting pretty well. Brown and Grey were left in the 7th generation, and we're about to head into the 9th. Since there will be some Brown and Grey anyway, it's the post-apocalypse, best make it the best Brown and Grey on the market. Number 7, ditch 76's multiplayer influence. Now, I'll be honest, I was very excited for Fallout 76. Not a popular opinion, but I was dying for a multiplayer Fallout 4 title. Obviously, 76 turned around and nuked itself in the ghoulies, so I won't dwell on explaining the failure. Basically, leave all of 76 behind. It didn't bring anything new to the table that should be carried forward. I'm not saying that 76 is outright bad to play, because I did enjoy my time with it when I ignored the fact it was a mess. Weird, I know, but yeah, leave all that behind. However, Todd Howard is a big fan of conceptualizing multiplayer in his Bethesda titles, hence why The Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76 eventually came to be. As much as an outright multiplayer MMO style thing would be a big no-no for Fallout 5, a much more down-to-earth in terms of the usual gameplay loop of Fallout co-op mode might not be that game-breaking. If a friend or two could join in some kind of companion form, maybe that wouldn't be too bad at all. Number 6, bring back the karma system. Morality systems in video games tend to usually lead to a very binary outcome. Either you get a good ending or a bad ending. Yet, Fallout 3 had a much more refined inclusion of a karma system and a claimed narrative pivoting point fans hoped would remain in the series from there on out. We saw it last in New Vegas, and it was a hefty point of criticism regarding the still very solid Fallout 4. We still hadn't everybody liked or disliked that, but progression being walled off or opened up based on how much of a good or rotten egg you were made the experience uniquely yours. Again, not to say that Fallout 4 led to a much more linear experience, but that extra little bit of depth into your on-screen character's creation and attitude is something sorely needed to be present again in Fallout 5. Number 5, roll out on a new engine. We get it, Bethesda. The creation engine can indeed be hilarious, but it stopped being a cute novelty right around the time Fallout 4 released. Self-referential humor is not something that fixes a problem your audience are now actually sick of. We're past the funny glitches phase. We're in the angsty, we want our games to just work phase, not the it just works, actually works. With the likes of The Outer Worlds and The Witcher 3 challenging Fallout and The Elder Scrolls positions, kinda, Bethesda game studios need to step up and do something truly excellent to regain their reputation, because, quite frankly, it's in the toilet at the moment. Thankfully, Bethesda Montreal have recently hired an engine programmer, so whether this means we'll just get a souped-up creation engine, which would be better than nothing, or a whole new engine, we'll have to wait and see. Number 4, better dialogue paths and options. One of Fallout's greatest strengths lies in how the world and the story are shaped by the events and the people in them. The fact you can speak to anyone and get some background info or world exposition is pretty entertaining. In 3 in New Vegas, you could see your responses in full, so you knew exactly how you would play out a conversation. Sadly, in 4, this was reduced down to a rough and occasionally misleading generalization as to what would be said, and fans wanting that trademark depth in conversation were left with a half-baked dialogue system. I managed to screw up how I wanted my Far Harbor campaign to go because a dialogue option suggested my character would do this, and instead, he did that, completely knackering everything I'd done on the island to that point. Genuinely infuriating. Just to bring it up again, the Outer Worlds brought back this much more specific dialogue system to the joy of many RPG players, but it'd be really great to see it return in Fallout. Number 3, VR support included. VR is a truly brilliant avenue running parallel to modern gaming. I don't see it as the future, but it's a brilliant platform to explore. Bethesda have been very welcoming of VR, releasing Fallout, Skyrim, Doom, and Wolfenstein experiences across PC and PS4. However, these have all been separate experiences, things to fork out for again. Skyrim and Fallout VR are passable experiences, but this option to play in a truly immersive way should be made possible out of the box. Fallout 4 VR was only available for those on PC. A PSVR release never came to be, but Fallout 5 could bridge the gap. Actually looking to your wrist to tinker with your Pip-Boy, slowing down time around you when VATS kicks in, or just taking in the sights and sounds of an eerily beautiful post-apocalyptic landscape, VR can really put a new perspective on the Fallout universe. Pun absolutely intended. Number 2, a more refined crafting system. One thing Fallout 4 introduced and did pretty well was the more in-depth weapon crafting system. You could now continue to improve and personalize the weapons you picked up from across the wasteland, changing your ammo type to increase damage, adding silencers to increase your stealth potential, or spray painting your pseudo AK-47 garishly vibrant colors to make a statement. I did that in my playthrough. I called it the Fabulashnikov. Also brilliant was the settlement building, which I absolutely bought into. There are only a handful of points in the main questline where you had to dig through trash to find adhesive to build things, so most people kind of ignored it. Not me though. Just try and get into my fortified rendition of the castle. Unlike other things Todd Howard had claimed, settlement building just works. So why is it on this list as something to change if it's already great? It's mostly down to whether Bethesda should spend their time working on an aspect of the title that only a minute percentage of people will use, when instead they could be working on making the dialogue systems better or fixing the engine. You'll have to let me know in the comments as to whether you want to see settlement building stay or go. You know where I stand. I want to build the ultimate bomb-proof utopia. Number 1, better QA and stress testing. The Break It Early test application did jack bollocks for Fallout 76. Releasing a beta 4 weeks before the release gives developers very little time to actually fix anything, and the state 76 was in during the beta, we knew it wouldn't even be passably finished on release. I've already said how the running joke of Bethesda games being buggy has absolutely run its course, so now there's no self-referential humor crash mat to land on if their next title is buggier than a cockroach sandwich. Shigeru Miyamoto once said, "A delayed game is eventually good, but a rushed game is forever bad." Valve time is something Bethesda could also draw from. I still stand by that if Fallout 76 was given another year in the oven, it could have released in November 2019 and been in a potentially much better state. You've got however many dollary dues lying around, invest in the best QA team you can possibly muster. Releasing a perfectly optimized title won't get you masses of mainstream fanfare, no, but the industry and your consumer base definitely get louder when things don't work. Thankfully, AAA developers and publishers have noticed this, and basically everything has been delayed. Doom Eternal was rightfully delayed, much to my many noises of pure sorrow last year, and Ubisoft had delayed everything. But in reality, it's good. It is a good thing. If waiting longer means a better game, I will wait. We will wait. You should wait. So that's my list of things Bethesda hopefully need to do with the next Fallout title. Good chance we're not getting it for quite a few years though, but we can always be dreaming about our next gallivant through the wasteland. So what do you think about these things? Are there things that Bethesda also need to do that I've not covered in this list? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the WhatCulture Gaming YouTube channel if you haven't already, and if you are just about to click that subscribe button, or you've already got the subscribe button clicked, why not click the bell and not miss out on anything we upload? WhatCulture.com/gaming has got lots of articles and lists and news and things every single day, and why not go and check out our Teespring stores, teespring.com/stores/WCG. There is a link in the description, so you'd have to type all this rubbish into a URL bar. Go and have a look at our merch. It's really cool. I'm not wearing any because I'm not. Sorry. Anyway, I've been Rich. You can go and follow me on Twitter @PickupChangeToe. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye.